Hi everyone, this is Deepti. In this video, I am going to discuss about exothermic and endothermic reaction with suitable example and graphical representation of exothermic and endothermic reaction. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Then let's start. Welcome to Light Up. Exothermic and endothermic reaction. So exothermic reaction means exo. It means external. External. That means outside. So thermic means heat. So exo means external, that is outside. Thermic means heat, that means heat has been released. It is releasing. The definition of exothermic reaction is the process of heat released to the surrounding. Heat released to the surrounding is called exothermic reaction. Heat released to the surrounding is called exothermic reaction. Heat is releasing. So external, out. So next, endothermic reaction. Endo means internal. Internal, that is in. Let's take it as in. So thermic means again heat. Heat is in. That means heat is entering from the surrounding. Therefore, the definition is heat absorbed from the surrounding. Heat absorbed from the surrounding is called endothermic reaction. Is called endothermic reaction. Heat absorbed is called endo. So next, let us see the example for exothermic reaction, that is the burning of wood. Burning of wood. When you burn the wood, the heat is released to the surrounding and the surrounding becomes heat. The temperature of the surrounding increases. The temperature of the surrounding increases. Let us burn the wood. When you burn the wood, there will be the heat released to the surrounding. The temperature of the surrounding increases. The temperature of the surrounding increases. But in endothermic, what happens means, here the example is melting of ice. Melting of ice. That means the ice starts melting. Why it is melting means it absorbs heat from the surrounding. It absorbing heat from the surrounding and ice starts melting. The temperature of the surrounding decreases. It becomes colder. The temperature of the surrounding becomes colder. Here heat is generated. This is the comparison between exothermic and endothermic reaction. Let us see some of the other example which is used in chemistry labs. So one more example, that is, let us take a beaker with a liquid HCl. On adding NaOH, the heat has been released. The heat released is called exothermic reaction. Heat released is called exothermic reaction. Here, heat has been generated. Heat is released to the surrounding. This is the example which can be carried out in the laboratory. So, for the endothermic reaction, let us take the beaker with the sodium carbonate solution, adding ethanoic acid, there will be absorption of heat, and this process is called endothermic reaction. Here the beaker becomes cooler. The temperature decreases. We can find the temperature variation by using the thermometer. We can check the temperature of both the reaction exothermic and endothermic. Here can find the temperature increasing, and in this thermometer you can find the temperature as decreases as the reaction proceeds. So this is the comparison. So one more example. So the next example is freezing. Freezing is also exothermic process, and condensation is also an exothermic process. The freezing means the liquid is converted into ice, that is water is converted into ice. So condensation means the vapors are converted into liquid. So this water is converted into ice. If any liquid is converted into ice means there will be bond formation. Again, the vapors are converted into liquid means again there will be bond formation. So in exothermic, what we can say is there will be bond formation in exothermic reaction. During the bond formation, the heat released. During the bond formation, the energy released is called exothermic reaction. This is the important point. In the exothermic reaction, there will be bond formation. What about in the endothermic reaction? Here the example is melting. So that is melting of ice or boiling of water. So melting of ice. So ice melts. So melting of ice, that means bond breaking. Again, boiling of water. So boiling of water means water get evaporated. Again, there you can also find bond breaking. So endothermic means bond breaking. Endo, bond breaking takes place. So I hope you understood the concept exothermic and endothermic. What is exothermic means? It is release of heat. Endothermic means absorption of heat. In exothermic, bond formation carried out. In endothermic, bond breaking. You can observe the bond break. Okay. So next, let us see the graph on this concept exothermic and endothermic process. So graph energy versus energy along y-axis, along x-axis direction of reaction. So reaction, how the reaction carried out, reaction, and the x-axis. In the same way, along endothermic, energy along y-axis and the reaction along x-axis. So the graph is like this: reacting. This is the point, the reacting, the point where the product formed. In endothermic, so reacting, and this is the product. So observe both the graph, reactant and product. Here in the exothermic reaction, the energy of the reactant is maximum. So energy. So look at this energy. As we go upward, the energy increases. So reactant energy is maximum. Product energy is minimum. Low energy. So how we write it as? We write this as ER is greater than EP. E means energy of reactant is greater than energy of the product. And this side, the endothermic process, the energy of a reactant is low, but the energy of the product is maximum. So this can be written as E product is greater than E reactant. So this one is important for CT NEET questions. Here the reactant, energy of the reactant is greater than energy of the product. Why here the energy of the product decreases here? Why? Because exothermic means release of heat. After the reaction, after the reactant get converted into product, there will be release of heat. Heat has been released to the surrounding. Therefore, the energy decreased. But in the endothermic reaction, heat from reactant is converted to product by the absorption of heat. Heat has been absorbed, so the energy of the product is increased. Therefore, EP is greater than ER. This is the comparison between exo and endothermic reaction. Again, how much of heat has been released to the surrounding? How to identify how much heat has been released to the surrounding? Let us see by drawing the line. So, reactant line to the product. The energy difference between the reactant and the product. The energy difference between reactant and the product tells us about the release of heat. The difference between energy. The difference between energy of a reactant and product. The energy difference between reactant product tells us about the energy transferred. Energy transferred to the surrounding. The surrounding. The important one. So this is the difference. This indicates how much energy has been released to the surrounding. In the same way in the endothermic reaction. So how much heat has been absorbed from the surrounding? It can be calculated by the difference of a reactant and the product. So energy difference, delta E. The energy difference between the reactant and the product tells us about the heat absorbed. How much has heat absorbed from the surrounding? Heat or energy absorbed from the surrounding. This is how we calculate, and this is the difference between exo and endothermic reaction with the definition and some example, and also I have explained the graph. Exothermic reaction means heat released, endo means heat absorption, and exothermic means bond formation, endothermic means bond breaking. Exothermic means energy of reactant is greater than energy of product. Endothermic means energy of product is greater than energy of reactant. So this is all about today's video. If you have any doubts regarding today's video, please comment below. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.